Welcome into the CHGO Bears Pregame. Amazing moment in time. Kick the living bejeez out of the Detroit Lions. Presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download the app and use the promo code CHGO when you sign up. Thank you to our friends at DraftKings, and thank you to everybody who showed up at our third ever Bears tailgate this morning, corner of Roosevelt in Michigan. If you weren't there, shame on you. You are invited to our final, well, I'm not sure. I think it's our final. Maybe we're doing more. I know we're at least doing one more. Bears-Packers when we kill Green Bay and move over 500 after we win today to get to 4-6. What's up, Nicholas Moreano? Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you too, Mark. This is the first time I'm on a pregame with you guys since like maybe the preseason, so it's good to be here.
Yeah, we kicked Hogue out. We didn't like his attitude. Braggs showed up at the tailgate and just, ran out of gas, and Lawrence is here, so hey, we are here to entertain and inform.
Guys,
and
I'm cold.
I'm
cold. Bundled up.
It was a little. Hey, in the sun at the tailgate, felt like Miami. In the shade, you were in Alaska. So that was your strategy. Strategy. Both were available to you. There's big news before the game today as far as the Bears inactives go. Not good news at all. Tevin Jenkins is not playing. If you missed that, he's got a hip injury. N'Keal Harry was the odd man out with Byron Pringle coming back. Kendall Vildor, that's not a surprise there. Neither is Al-Qadim Muhammad, who was doubtful all week long.
He's basically been inactive all year. So.
Yeah, exactly. True story. Velus now back-to-back weeks that he's inactive, and Harrison Hand, who got elevated up from the practice squad, is inactive. I was hoping to see Harrison Hand out there. I love that guy. We can talk about him another time. And the always inactive Ja'Tyre Carter. But two interesting things there, Nick. Number one, Tevin, who is as tough as they come. So that makes me especially worried when he can't play because of a hip injury, and it just makes you a little nervous about what's going on going forward.
Yeah, he's been the Bears' best offensive lineman, Mark, especially growing into that role at the right guard position, and the Bears are going to be missing a force out there. You can watch tape from Tevin Jenkins from every game and see him just maul over somebody and just execute a block. The Bears are going to be missing that today, but they do have some depth along that offensive line, so you'll get a guy like Michael Schofield, who did come in during the Patriots game when, they needed some guys to come in and fill in that roster, but it's a big letdown.
Yeah,
for sure.
It is. I'm thinking of equivalent letdowns, and I first went to like Carm driving versus Hogue. Hogue, Jenkins, Carm, Schofield. Is that too harsh on Carm? I'm not sure, but
too harsh.
But it's a big time loss. Tevin's been awesome. Tevin's been awesome on the field. Tevin's been awesome off the field. Tevin needs to get healthy. There is no need to rush anybody back in this particular Bears season. So I guess props to Tevin and the Bears for, if you can't play, you can't play, and there's no reason to push through, even though I'd love to see the Bears win today. They haven't won a home game in 49 days.
That's a long time, Mark. It's, obviously a 2-game losing streak. And, yeah, Michael Schofield's going to have to be somebody that steps up in that position. Also, you have Alex Leatherwood, who will be active for this game. Maybe. I don't know. But maybe at some point if they don't like the play of Schofield. But, like I said, there are some guys that are there, but not the level of Tevin Jenkins, for sure.
The Lions and the Bears in November, and both of them with a record of 2-6 and 3-6. This just feels so familiar. But what's unfamiliar, I think, for all of us right now is, logically, not hyperbole, I can say it, and no one's going to scream, Carm, what the hell are you talking about? And everyone else is saying it. The Bears have the best quarterback in the division. If you were to put it into a draft right now, hey, you have the first pick, and this is who you could have going forward: Kirk Cousins, Justin Fields, Aaron Rodgers, Jared Goff. There's nobody that wouldn't take Justin Fields. As far as, I'm not, to win one game, sure, maybe you take Aaron and Kirk over him right now. You could certainly argue. But as far as going forward, the Bears are in the best position quarterback-wise in the division, which is it's a nice feeling. It's a good feeling. Let's celebrate it, damn it.
It's unheard of territory, right, Mark, where the Bears have the quarterback in the division. And right now in this 3-game streak, you don't want to take anybody other than Justin Fields. And we'll get into this game and what ends up happening, but you're looking at the matchup, Jared Goff, Justin Fields, should be a no-brainer at this point.
Yeah, so let me just dive into Fields a little bit here, because honestly, I could care less about the matchup in the Lions today. I really just care about the quarterback. I think most of us do. So here's my question for you. Justin Fields, all right, he's been over 200 yards once this year. Happened against Minnesota, threw for 208. It's a number. It's not nothing's, it doesn't excite anybody, right? He threw for 209 for the record against the Lions last year. He was also over 200 against his best game, at least up until recent note, was against the Steelers last year when he threw for 291. He had a 285-yard game against Minnesota. He had a 224-yard game against Green Bay. But forget about the yardage. You had 2 fourth-quarter opportunities last week, did not score. Now, not his fault. The pass interference all day long on Chase Claypool didn't get called, and Equinemius St. Brown drops a ball that I gave him a little bit of I said it wasn't the easiest catch. I mean, rewatching the game again yesterday and the day before. That ball
right through his hands,
that ball wasn't as hard as I was thinking it was in the moment. So not on him, but in close games, the Bears' record in games decided by 1 score or more in Fields' 19 games when he's a starting quarterback, it's happened 8 times. 1 score or more. What's the Bears' record in those games? The answer is 1-7, and they're 1-4 this year. 1-7 in 1-score games in his 19 starts, and 1-4 this year. Now again, Velus muffs a punt. Amir Smith-Marset gets the ball ripped from him. In the Washington game, he threw 2 touchdown passes. Darnell Mooney drops it. Dante Pettis gets interfered on too. They don't get that call either. So I arguing, giving my point before I ask the question, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, but I am starting to wonder, do they need to start winning games? Or what he does for 57 of the 60 minutes, if it doesn't work out in the final couple of minutes and they end up losing the football game, as long as we see progress, is that really the only thing that matters? Is he already a winning quarterback in essence, even though they are not winning close games?
Mark, that's a part of it, but that's what all the guys said this past week. That's the next step, right? Cole Kmet talked about it. In the fourth quarter, when we need to have it, they need to be able to execute those plays. And look, it's time to start learning how to win those games. That's a part of the process of being this evolution for Justin Fields. And yes, a lot of those plays are not on him because his playmakers himself are not making the plays.
So let me just stop you right there. Learning how to win those games, right? Well, I don't know. It seemed like he learned pretty well how to take him down the field. He threw a touchdown pass in the biggest moment of the game multiple times, and his teammates are dropping him. Does he really need to learn anything else?
No, this is for the team, Mark. This is for the team that needs to learn how to win. It looks like Justin Fields is already putting his team in position to actually get in the W column, but the team itself, it's not going to be, obviously everything's on Justin Fields, but it's going to be more than him that goes into 2023. There's going to be some of these guys from this team that obviously carry over. So collectively as a unit, I think they do need to learn how to win. And it's Detroit coming to town, a team that has one less win than Chicago. This is an opportunity for them to learn how to win one of these close games. Like you said, 1-7 the last time for the Bears record in these close games. So this is an opportunity for the entire unit, all 3 levels, to learn how to win a football game.
Well, and to the Detroit point, okay, if they win today and the line is floated between 3 and 2.5, it's at DraftKings right now. It's sitting at 2.5, and I think Tevin not playing is a big deal. But the Lions, the Lions defensively are the Lions defensively. They're 32nd in 7,000 categories, and it's just. But the other side of it, though. Hey, look, and Aaron was awful last week, but the Packers scored 9 points. Yep. All right, and by the way, for those looking at the over 48.5, Detroit is averaging 12 points a game in their last 4 games. To me, this screams the under, because I feel like there's a whole very excited the Bears offense is just crushing things vibe going on right now. So I like the Lions to cover, the Bears to win, and the under. We'll get to the actual predictions coming up here.
Nick and I were talking about that over in the car ride over here as we were shivering. I don't know. I mean, you think like, oh, well, 48.5, that's only 28-21, and there's your over. But I agree. It seems it's high for an NFL game, so
I just look at what Detroit did against Green Bay last week. That's not Detroit's defense. That's not the defense that I think consistently has been out there. Like, I see the defense that was going and giving up touchdowns every single drive to Miami in the first half and then continuing that into the second half. That's the Detroit team that I think we're going to see today. And then obviously the Bears have figured out some things on offense. So maybe it's looking like
and we've also figured out some things on their Bears defense.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we're leaning the over, but we'll get into those prop bets in a little bit.
I guess where I dove off there on a slight tangent is like beating Detroit today, and it would be fine and lovely and would keep remote hope alive with the dysfunctional NFC. If the Bears can get hot and start winning some games and maybe even get back into the playoff conversation, which would be fun, and we would enjoy that here at CHGO. However, beating the Lions is one thing. Beating a quality team in a tight game like they almost did last week against Miami, that would obviously mean a lot more. So back to whether they need to start winning games for Justin to feel better. I've been scrolling through the chat and it's like, I've seen a lot of it's not on Fields, and that's fair. It's not. He's played great. He's made gargantuan leaps. He's showing himself to be everything that we ever wanted him to be in a very quick period of time. But I guess where I fall is more on the just as long as they're playing well and they feel comfortable in the offense. And that, to me, feels like it's going to be enough confidence for them going forward. Like, I'm not as focused on whether or not they win the football game. Maybe I should be, but I'm not.
For everyone who's listening and watching, back home, like, for you, the result of this game, does it matter? Yes or no, whether or not the Bears win this game?
1 for yes, 2 for no. 1 for yes, 2 for no.
There we go. And just to kind of get a gauge of what you guys are thinking. But it is, again, Detroit, a bad football team playing a Bears team that obviously is on a losing streak right now. But, I think in terms of what the Bears want to do moving forward, winning, obviously will help them in the long run in terms of next season.
Lions are 32nd in points allowed. They give up 29.3. They're 31st in rushing yards allowed, 148.8. They're 29th in passing yards allowed, 268.5. 32nd in total yards, combine the two. Last in the NFL, 417. By the way, the Falcons are 31st, who the Bears are going to see coming up, 399. So 18 yards more, up from the next worst team in the NFL. I mean, they are out there. Last in the NFL in passing yards per play, 7.8. And then you look at them. Do they get turnovers? A little bit. They're 22nd in turnover margin, -3. So I still like watching their game against Green Bay. They win the football game. They do have
the 3 red zone turnovers on Aaron Rodgers.
It was stunning.
Unheard of.
It really was unheard of. But I like more on the offensive side of the ball. DeAndre Swift, who's been complaining about how much he's been used, he's been a little banged up. Dude's averaging 7.3 yards per carry. 7.3.
That offensive line's the strength of this team for the Detroit Lions. Matt Eberflus talked about it earlier this week, and it wouldn't surprise me if that's the route they go to move the ball today.
I mean, that's a big number. Jamal Williams is averaging 4 yards a carry. My guy Justin Jackson, we got a bunch of touches last week. Go Cats, go Northwestern. Go UNU. I shouldn't even bring them up right now. They are really struggling. But, you'll see some of Justin Jackson out there today, too. He played a bunch against Green Bay. And then, Goff, if you give him time,
that's the thing.
He can be successful. And the Bears are giving people time.
A lot of time.
Yeah.
A lot of time.
All day time. Which that goes into, I thought, one of the more interesting moments of this week with the Bears defensive coordinator, Alan Williams, talking about, we can't just put this on personnel. We've got to put this on coaching, too, and how they're scheming. So I do think it is actually a big week for sort of, if it's even possible for there to be a defensive epiphany, and maybe we're going to blitz more, do whatever creatively the Bears can possibly do that they haven't done to this point to try to
generate some kind of pressure, because they can't do it organically. It's just they've shown they can't do it organic. And Eberflus talked about we got to get creative how we get this pressure. Like, when was the last time we saw Kyler Gordon come on a nickel blitz? Like, some of those kind of things, I think the Bears can experiment today, and especially because it is Jared Goff. If you do give him time, he has an ability to find his read and make the right pass. But it's when pressure comes, Mark, where things for Jared Goff, this Lions offense, kind of gets dysfunctional. And that's what the Bears need to do. They need to force the dysfunction on Detroit, because it's in there. It's Detroit. They love to implode on each other as the game kind of goes on. But if the Bears can force that hand throughout the game, do so with maybe applying some pressure, then things can get really interesting, I think.
Yeah. We got the brotherly matchup as far as the Lions' best receiver, St. Brown versus St. Brown. Lions St. Brown has 399 yards on the year on 59 targets, 39 balls caught. He's averaging 10.2 yards catch. Talented guy. They've got the better St. Brown.
They do have the better St. Brown. But if you ask Equanimeous, you say he beat him at everything they were doing when they were kids. He always was the top dog. But in terms of NFL production, Amon-Ra, he's pretty good. He's pretty talented.
Amon-Ra is you're gonna be seeing him all over the field today. But their second leading catcher is now a Minnesota Viking in T.J. Hawkinson.
Yeah.
So
gone.
Yeah, which it's kind of bizarre. That's a quality tight end who was 25 years old, and you're getting rid of him. If I'm a Lions fan, I'm scratching my head. Which, by the way, speaking of Lions fans, there were a ton of Lions fans out there at the tailgate today. I mean, Lions fans love CHGO.
Yeah, but where's Don Burr? I don't see him anywhere.
Yeah,
my guy.
Will was asking for him. Couldn't find Don Burr at the tailgate. I don't know, but we appreciate that.
We appreciate it. It's
always cool.
It's a great rivalry.
Atmosphere, yeah, exactly.
Great rivalry, Chicago-Detroit. The highlight of the Chicago-Detroit rivalry was obviously in basketball in the Bulls-Pistons era. But, the Lions and the Bears, we've been doing this for a long time of not being good football teams and playing each other and just kind of being like, yeah, okay, here's Detroit, here's Chicago. We both have a chance to win. We're going to go out to Soldier Field in a second. But first, Nick, what do you got to tell us?
So got to tell you guys about Shady Rays. Their premium polarized shades featuring world-class optical clarity, substantial durability, and styles cater to everyone and every lifestyle. The best part about Shady Rays, they have the most insane protection program in all of eyewear.
That's what I'm talking about.
If you lose or break your shades
what happens?
On day one, you lose them at the tailgate, whatever, you can get a brand new pair.
What? You lose them and they hook you up just
no
like
questions
that?
Asked.
No questions.
No questions asked.
Come
Mark.
on, Shady Rays. We love you, Shady Rays.
So if you accidentally drop them in the lake, like I said, lose them at the tailgate, off a cliff, anything.
What happens if you put them on your seat in the car, then you get out and you go into 7-Eleven, then you come back in and you sit down, and you crack them in half. What happens then?
Well, Shady Rays got you covered, because even with that strong of a protection program, they still managed to make quality that I can tell you, holding in my hand, wearing them, it seems like any other premium sunglasses. And Shady Ray customers have seemed to agree with that, with over 200,000 5-star reviews. So exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is running their deepest deal of the season. Use code CHGO for 50% off 2 or more pairs at shadyrays.com. Buy one, get one free. You can get 2 pairs for as low as $54. Redeem only at shadyrays.com, where you can find all the newest and best shades.
That is just straight amazing. Thank you, Shady Rays. And thank you to our friends at ComEd Energy. Listen, if you care about the world and you care about saving money, then you want to pay attention to what ComEd is doing with their energy efficiency program. They are committed to helping yourself, families, businesses, the community in the way we save money and energy, which should matter to everybody out there. That's right. I'll put the moral on you on that one. ComEd offers free facility assessments that can help energy saving opportunities, lighting, HVAC systems, commercial kitchen equipment. If you are running in the business world, they've got it all for you. Listen, they will step in 3 to 4 weeks. Customers are going to get you'll get a report detailing energy efficiency projects that can start, and they'll get it going on immediately. So, hey, you want a facility assessment? You want to see what's going on in your house, in your condo, ways to do it better? You can call them 855-433-2700. That's during normal business hours, Monday through Friday, or the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program. Send them an email. Also a great way to do it. businessee@comed.com. businessee@comed.com. Or you can request assessment online on our website, comed.com/facility assessment. Thank you to our friends at ComEd. Thank you, ComEd. All right, let's go out to Soldier Field. Our main man, putting out sweet pictures, doing amazing reporting, talking to all the Bears, and everybody else is important. You guys have known each other since, I feel like, the beginning of time. What's up, Will DeWitt?
Oh, yeah, it feels that way, too. I don't know if that's a compliment or not to Nick. But no, I'm doing pretty good, guys. Glad to be here at Soldier Field. Long time no see. A great time hanging out with you all at the tailgate earlier. But now we're all kind of warming up a little bit and excited for this Bears-Lions matchup to kick off here in about 40 minutes.
Hey, Will, before you and Nick go down memory lane, I'm just going to sit here for a couple hours and listen to you guys because I've always enjoyed it. The conversation we're having this morning, do the Bears need to start winning games to truly prove that the offense in Justin Fields has officially arrived? 1-7 in one-score games in Fields' career, 1-4 this year.
That's a really good point, Carmen. When I was doing my midseason report, just kind of looking into some of those stats and numbers, like Fields does have 2 game-winning drives so far this year, and there would have been more if you would have had some of those key drops throughout the year. I personally, and I said this over a month ago on After Dark, and I'm doubling down. I really don't care about wins and losses anymore this year as long as I see that progression. And when I see the Bears second in the league in scoring since the mini bye week, like, to me, even though they haven't been able to secure as many victories as we would like, they're losing games like we did last week, I still see the growth, and I'm okay if the defense ends up being the side of the ball that lets this team down. That doesn't really deter anything from me, from Justin, and the growth that he's putting on display. So that's a long way of saying no, but that's just kind of where I'm at.
I mean, like, I see Dan Payton in the comments, must win today, in my opinion. Like, Dan, I maybe someday we can chat, me and you, but like I want to know what that means. Like, if they lose, then what? Then it's over. So I would challenge that. Go ahead, Nick.
Will, with Tevin Jenkins being inactive, what do you think that does for this offensive line, the Bears' rushing attack? Because Tevin has been playing some really good football as he's kind of grown into the role at right guard. But what do you kind of think happens with that O-line, the Bears' rushing attack, this Bears' offense, with a guy like that being inactive for today?
I mean, obviously they're going to miss him. Tevin Jenkins has been, by and large, the best Bears offensive lineman, setting the tone up front, moving guys literally across the field. I feel like it's going to be Michael Schofield jumping in there at right guard, which he did play a decent at left guard. I want to give him all that credit before Cody Whitehair came back. So I do think the Bears should be able to mitigate the damage a little bit, but let's be honest, Schofield's not going to give you Tevin Jenkins worthy play. Luckily for this Lions defense, they still average giving up 4.9 yards per rush, if I remember correctly, from our pregame show on Thursday. So I don't think the Bears will be hurting themselves in terms of finding that production on the ground. It just may be a little bit harder to come by without Tevin. I did see that Leatherwood is active, so maybe if Schofield does struggle, Leatherwood gets a shot or two out there as well. But for me, I feel like it'll be Schofield's the guy, and just based off of his play at left guard earlier a couple weeks ago, I don't think he's going to play poor enough to warrant Leatherwood having to step into his place.
What's your read, Will, on N'Keal Harry inactive, and we finally are going to get the fever for the flavor of the Byron Pringle? We get to see Pringle today. One, why do you think it was Harry? And two, how much do you think we see Pringle?
Sure. I think it was Harry because Chase Claypool's a little bit more acclimated to this offense, and they're similar type of wide receivers with that big body, jump ball ability down the field. And having Byron Pringle step in, who's a little bit shiftier, he has that smaller body, and obviously he's been inactive for a while, so it's really hard to gauge actually what he brings to the table to this Bears offense. I'm excited to see that here today, but I feel like with having Claypool, who's here, you're going to want to have him active, obviously, and I'm excited to see what kind of steps he'll take this week. But just having Pringle with Harry, as well as Darnell Mooney, I think you just have a couple different skill sets that the Bears can tap into here to where Claypool and Harry may just have a little bit more overlap and a little bit of redundancy there at the position. So I think that's why they're going that route. But I'm excited to see some Pringle in action, and we'll see if they kind of ease him in to the offense, what that role actually does look like. But for a guy that we all had, actually, I don't know about Mark, but I know like Nick and I had modest expectations coming into the season. It's good to have him out here on the field today.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he does today, Will. You know, let's quickly talk about the defense. Obviously, there's not much to expect from that unit, but do you have any expectations for what they could do today? Obviously, they're missing Kendall Vildor. It seems like they don't have a pass rush. Doesn't matter who you put out there, but are there any expectations for you in this, what they could do potentially against this Lions offense? And Jared Goff, who we know when under pressure will make mistakes. He's a quarterback that has shown that. But any expectations for you for this Bears defense for today's game?
I don't think they're going to give up yards through the air nearly as easily as they did last week. The Lions don't have the same caliber of weapons that the Dolphins have on the perimeter and the outside. I do feel like they can run in this Bears defense. Who can't run in this Bears defense? We didn't see the Dolphins really pound it last week, but they didn't need to. They're just moving the ball so easily through the air. But the Lions, they can be lethal on the ground. And I talked about it too, like one of the best red zone rushing attacks in the NFL. And the Bears have given up the most rushing touchdowns in the entire NFL. So I feel like the Lions on the ground worry me. The Lions through the air, not so much. Pressure or not, Jared Goff is a quarterback that I believe will give the Bears some chances. And it's a little cold out here, as you guys know. The wind's swirling, and this is a Lions team that plays indoors, practices indoors. So for the weather and the coldness, that can also be a factor for Jared Goff, who is a guy who plays in a dome. And before that, he was out there playing in some warm weather in LA with the Rams too. So for me, I know he plays St. Louis too, but I just wanted to mention that part. But yeah, no, I don't have any expectations for this defense, Nick, as you know, other than the Lions just may be a less worthy foe for them to actually go up against. But I don't even know what that means. They can still hang 30 on the Bears, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Will DeWitt at Soldier Field. Yours truly, Mark Carman, Nicholas Moreano with you today on Bears Pregame. Hogue is off at a wedding. He'll be back tomorrow. So looking forward to hopefully talking about a win, by the way, on our postgame show today. I'm seeing in our comments Jack Sanborn continues to get mentions here. So number one, and I'm talking to myself too because I wrote about Sanborn twice this week in my predictions for today and some other thing that I was communicating about a show where we were talking about Sanborn. We need to be able to spell his name first up, and I'm talking to myself here because I had it Sandborn. That's wrong. There's no D. It's just Sand and then Born, and it's not Bourn. It's Born. So we need to learn this Jack Sanborn. Jack Sanborn 57 in your program, number one in I guess apparently a couple Bears players' hearts, including defensive coordinator Alan Williams, who shouted him out this week when I asked him who stood out on the tape. And, I mean, it might be actually an indictment of the defense that the answer is Sanborn. That's probably not the answer we're looking for, but that's the answer that we got. Do you have any expectations that they have a diamond in the rough here, Will? When you look back at the tape, does this guy stand out to you?
I mean, he stands out. I do like his ability to play linebacker. I think it's a good fit here at the mic. I know we were easing him in, thinking he could be a good Sam backer, but I don't know if I'm going to say diamond in the rough in terms of like he's going to end up being like a perennial Pro Bowler by any means, but I do think he can provide the Bears with real solid play at that middle linebacking position. And in terms of this game, I'm just hopeful that he can help Eddie Jackson out and make some of these tackles at the second level. We know the defensive line hasn't been doing their job, which makes the linebackers' jobs harder. And I know it's a trickle-down effect through all the levels of the defense, but I don't know if you guys know this, but Eddie Jackson is literally on pace to set a new career high in tackles. He's only 17 tackles away from his career high, and we have 8 games remaining, just showing how active he's had to be making plays all over this field because the play up front hasn't been what it was over in years past. But when I look at Jack Sanborn specifically, I do think he can be a quality starter here in this league, and that would really help the Bears as they want to build this defense next year, some capital where you don't have to go out and shell out a lot of money for a middle backer here. And we know we have some holes to fill at the will backer position too. Nicholas Morrow, only 2 tackles last week at that position, which is predicated at going out and making plays sideline to sideline. Only having 2 in his first game on the weak side is a concern to me. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with Sanborn and the linebackers heading into this game.
That's up your name right there, the whole Nicholas deal. But we might be at the point where Morrow just can't play. A nice guy, good story, small college, rooting for him, but
he hasn't been productive, Mark, in this defense. So a defense that he is familiar with too, playing under Rod Marinelli for a season with the Raiders. Will, I know going into the draft and after he was drafted, Velus Jones Jr., a guy that you really liked, a guy that a lot of Bears fans had a lot of high hope for. Second game, being inactive.
Ouch.
So I guess what are just your thoughts on, Velus Jones Jr., how the Bears are kind of approaching this? They are going with whoever's the best out there to help them win on Sundays, as opposed to kind of developing a younger, a rookie pick like Velus is, and that's kind of been their approach as of late. Just what are your thoughts on Velus Jones Jr., how the Bears are handling it, and what it kind of means for him moving forward?
I think the first thing I want to mention is I'm just deeply disappointed that we're even here having this conversation at this stage of the season. As you mentioned, Nick, really liked him coming out of the draft. Excited that he was someone that the Bears decided to pick up, and I still believe he has playmaking ability. But I'm just disappointed that obviously he's not. I'm sorry, is that annoying over the end? Should I wait? No, we're good. We can keep going. But I'm just disappointed that obviously he's not picking up things enough to be out there on the field. And the Bears wide receiver room, they're bringing in guys, but it's not like an overly crowded unit. I like Dante Pettis too. That's well known. But Velus Jones Jr., I wish can find a way to work his way up through the depth chart to be active on game days over Dante too. But how the Bears are handling it, Nick, I'm for it. I mean, obviously they're holding him accountable. They're not shying away from playing young guys. We see that on offense. We see that on defense all over this entire field. So it's not like they don't want to play him because he's young. They don't want to play him because obviously he's not ready. He's not their best option, whether it's at returner, whether it's out there in receiver. And that's all on Velus. And he has to find ways to improve, show it in practice, so he can get out here in game days. I appreciate the Bears holding them accountable, like no question about it. But it's damn disappointing too.
For sure. Thank you, by the way, to Shay Glover. Hit the like button. Yes, please. We appreciate it. Like buttons help us grow. That's what we're trying to do here at CHGO. We appreciate everybody jumping on board here. It's a 3-part process, though, ideally, so thank you. Like, subscribe, turn notifications on so you know when we're doing shows, not only our CHGO Bears show, but Cubs and Sox and Blackhawks and Bulls and everything else we do here. Damn it, we're busy. So hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and turn those notifications on. All right, Will, it sounds like it's getting busy over there, so we'll drop you off. But you want to give a prediction? How you feeling about today?
Yeah, things haven't changed. I still think the Bears will win this one. They give up a little bit more points than we would like to the Lions, but I think that's just a testament to this defense and really where it's at. But this offense should continue to keep on rolling. Excited to watch it. But yeah, Bears will win. My final score, I'll keep it 31-24. Have a great rest of the pregame. See you guys post-game and enjoy the game, all right?
All right, Will. See ya.
There he goes, our guy Will DeWitt out at Soldier Field. Look at this, just coming to the tailgate. Not sure if he had any shots, but I got to tell you, props to me, just for the record. I brought the crown over there today, and I'll do the same, by the way, for our Packers thing. People were loving shots at it was people
took a shot with Greg. Yep, with the crown.
There we go. I mean,
good stuff.
Lawrence, you didn't have one, did you?
I stuck to the coffee today.
Probably best.
You're a professional.
Yeah, a lot of buttons to push over here.
Yeah. Well, hey, you gotta be on your game. I was okay. I had a feeling it would be a hit.
It was,
and it most definitely was. All right, so let's float around here to some of this. I think I want us to just start back at Fields for a second here. The dude was named the NFC Offensive Player of the Week, which perhaps is not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. Like whatever, it's a Player of the Week award. Trubisky got a Player of the Week award. It really doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. It's just 1 week, but Damn, dude was the NFC Offensive Player of the Week. I feel like actually here at CHGO we did not do a good enough job of celebrating that. We should have. I mean, we should just pop some damn ass champagne, Lawrence. Dude was the NFC Player of the Week.
Yeah,
we're getting. You know.
Well,
Doesn't happen very often with Bears quarterbacks, Mark. And, if you ask Justin Fields, though, he's like, it's just like another day, right? He's always looking to the next opportunity to get better. But that is a big moment because Justin Fields is showing, obviously, when you break the NFL rushing record for a quarterback in a single game, that's amazing. But you're seeing that he was the reason they were in that shootout with the Miami Dolphins. Every single time there needed to be a play to be made, he tried to put his receivers in a position to capitalize, but sometimes they just didn't execute to the best of their ability. But Justin Fields is growing and showing progress, and that is good for the Bears moving forward.
So we did not discuss this beforehand, but you walked across the bridge of where I'm trying to go here. So he's the NFC Offensive Player of the Week. That's sweet. Well, how has he gotten there? How has this happened? How much credit does the offensive coordinator, Luke Getsy, deserve in this process? And I'm starting to see pretty much daily in the chat, is Getsy going to leave? Is somebody going to give him a head coaching job? Are we going to lose Luke Getsy? Yes, we are 3-6. Yes, we are 1-4 in one-score games. Yes, there is a long, long way to go here. But people are getting nervous that we're going to lose the offensive coordinator, which is a compliment to Luke Getsy, clearly, and to Matt Eberflus for his selection along with Ryan Poles. But I don't know. It just feels like
premature, right? Like
it's a fast jump.
It is a fast jump. But I remember that was discussion in the offseason going into this year. Like, what if Luke Getsy is that good of a coordinator that he eventually goes to get a head coaching job and Fields is, doing what he's doing now? Well, isn't that the discussion you want to be having where the offense is excelling, Justin Fields is looking good, and a credit to Luke Getsy and what that coaching staff did during the mini-bye. Andrew Janocko, the quarterback's coach, also being a part of that. Chris Morgan, the offensive line coach. They put together a game plan that is catering to Justin Fields' strengths, which, you'd think it'd be an obvious from day one, but it really is working now. But this whole narrative that maybe there are Bears fans that are scared that Getsy might go somewhere else to be a head coach. Again, it's a little too early for me, but that offense, though, it is known league-wide. So you can get guys that come in that do have familiar with the concepts and the schemes, might be not run as well as Luke Getsy's running it right now, but I think it's just a little early to be on that boat right now.
Elevate Alex Janocko, quarterback's coach. Listen, I like Luke Getsy. I've been impressed with Luke Getsy from pretty much day one. He's, for one, when you're talking to him, very composed. Mm-hmm. He sort of has at least somewhat of a head coach feel to him, like he could command the room. I can see it. He's a little understated that way. Like, he's not the most dynamic personality going, but he's a pretty fun guy. Like, I don't know, there's this weird thing out at practice where he goes into the refrigerator in the other room and he puts up like 4 different soft drinks on the thing, which he thinks is funny. So, which is, he'll go with the squirt, and then he'll put out the Vermers, then he'll have the Diet Pepsi, and then he'll have I don't know why that's funny.
Sometimes a beer gets put in the middle of that too. Just put it in there. Yeah.
So there's something going on with Getsy, and then he's been very just down the middle. This is our plan. This is how we're going to do it. He just seems like, there's a level-headedness to him that I like. Also, I haven't reached like, this dude is a genius that you can't replace. Like, I haven't gotten there yet either.
No. And what I like too about Getsy is, like, even after the Miami game, he'll still come out on the Wednesday press conference and say, it keeps everything level-headed. It's not like what Justin Fields does is he doesn't go over the top with it and kind of announce it to the world like, this is the greatest thing. Very level-headed with his approach. And I think that's good for Fields' this Bears offense because there are obviously areas they can continue to improve on because that's what Luke Getsy truly believes in, this coaching staff believes in. There could be better execution overall. So regardless of the game that, how many points the offense puts up, which has been 30-plus the last 3 weeks, how Fields looks, what the offense is doing on a drive-to-drive basis, very even keel, is always looking for improvement, just like Justin Fields is. That's why I think they mesh really, really well. They know that they can always find constant improvements in their game.
Yeah, I'm just.
I like this comment from Pepe. He says that Greg Roman's done a great stuff with Lamar Jackson for years now and still hasn't gotten an head coaching job, so people are thinking way too far in the future. I mean, that's a good point. Like, if Roman's gotten Lamar Jackson this far, he's still there. Are we really thinking Getsy's half a season?
It's a fair point. I actually we were in the who are the Bears going to hire to be their head coach. I'm like, why don't we go get Greg Roman?
Yeah.
Because look what he did with Lamar. Look what we have here. Which also takes you into sort of an interesting Luke Getsy odd conversation, because you clearly looked around and added on to the offense, looked at Baltimore. Fields named it. We took some stuff from the Ravens and put it in the game plan after the Washington loss. And yet Getsy has continued to push back on that. No, with the offense is the offense, we're just kind of getting better at it, basically is what he said. So I'm not sure why he is sort of putting up a wall on the fact that they haven't gotten more creative and just brought more stuff in, and that's why it's successful. Like in a weird way, he's holding on to his offense, so to speak, which I'm not sure exactly what's accurate, how much they've brought in or how much they haven't brought in, but it feels like they actually did certainly do some things different, which is why Fields is all of a sudden at a different level.
I wonder too, like, Mark, don't you want to take credit for when things are, going well? Like, even as a coach, like, obviously they did look into those things in some form, some way, but yeah, this is Getsy's offense with Chinoco and the rest of his coaching staff, and they developed a good plan, a good scheme that works for the guys that they have. But if you want to take credit for that, like, shoot, who does it?
Dude, looking around the league and figuring out what
it's a copycat league.
It's a good thing. It's a win. Luke, you're doing a great job, my friend. Steal away. If you ain't stealing, you ain't trying, and it's not like cheating and trying. What is working? Copycat league, just like Nick said. Let's go. Let's do this. So I don't know. It'll be interesting, just to follow in the offseason if Getsy indeed is getting interviews and watching Bears fans and maybe people around here, myself, who knows, freaking out that they can't lose Luke Getsy. What else do you got? What else do you got over there? You got to tell the people here, Nick.
Yeah, we got to tell everybody about Pins and Aces, the official golf apparel partner of CHGO. They are family-owned golf and apparel business. They make amazing polos, hats, golf bags, and even our favorite beer sleeve, which would have been great at the CHGO tailgate they were just at. But it's an innovative product that allows you to store 7 beers right inside your golf bag and keep drinks cold the entire round. You can check out pinsandaces.com and use code CHGO to receive 15% off your first order, and you get free shipping. And again, that's at pinsandaces.com. Use that code CHGO to receive 15% off your first order. And again, you do get free shipping with that as well.
So thank you to our friends at Pins and Aces. My favorite thing to do is watch the secondary market, and it's just the highlight of my day when I get to do my Game Time Tickets read, which is the hottest new ticketing site. Makes it easier than ever to get the best deals for Bears games like today, concerts, shows. Right now, Nicholas Moreano, row 6, upper corner. What do you think it costs to get into Soldier Field right now?
It's
with fees and everything. I give the with fees price because that's the only price that matters.
I may be really off, but it's like $130.
$130 is Nick's guess.
At this hour, I'm going to go with $89.
$89. It's 11:44. 16 minutes to game time on Game Time Tickets. Peanut Gallery. $150 from the Peanut Gallery. Casey, $112. I mean, Nick's cheating because the answer is $130 on the money, which is just disgusting, and I don't think that you didn't cheat. But, hey, up top, 50-yard line, courtside, behind home plate, floor seats, wherever you want to go, download the Game Time app. 15 million people have done it. You could be the 15 millionth and first to do it, and best seats anywhere you want to go. If you love CHGO, you're going to love Game Time. Best way to support us is by buying your tickets through the link in the description. By the way, lower level right now, let's just see if 113 row 1 in the corner. Let's or here we go. Wow.
I don't have a guess for you right now, Mark. So.
Okay. I mean, if you want, you can get down low for $200
nice.
Right now, which is about half of what the actual ticket price is.
Good deal.
So,
Game time.
Game time. Let's go. 100%. Can you tell us one more thing about the amazing folks at DraftKings, Nick? You got that in your repertoire?
I can, just if you give me like 2 seconds here, Mark.
I'm going to give you all the time in the world that you need because
I have a perfect ad read for everybody right now for DraftKings, and obviously you have to make your prop bets.
Well, Greg Braggs was supposed to be here, and I just
that's right. Yep.
But Braggs is at the
tailgate.
At the tailgate. I want to shout out my guy at S_K_Powell, Ray the Barber Elite, who I met at the tailgate today. Army vet, who's diehard Bears fan, going to his first Bears game at Soldier Field today. So we had a great conversation out there. Ray the Barber, you're the man. Appreciate you and everybody else I got to talk to today. We got some people coming up from Springfield who are now going to call them CHGO diehards coming every tailgate. So and we get the football out there going. So come out for the Packers one. I don't care how cold it is. We'll be having a great time.
We'll be out there. And shout to Kyler who came from Florida for today's game. Also going to the Blackhawks game tomorrow. So I hope you have a great time in Chicago. Got to tell you about DraftKings though. And here we go. Just listen to the scenario, everybody. Cairo Santos is lining up for an onside kick. The chances of regaining possession are slim. The stakes are high and the tension is higher. Your pulse is racing. He kicks and you watch the ball as it lands. Make every play feel this exciting with DraftKings Sportsbook.
You made it so exciting there, Nick. I could feel it. Onside kick. I'm about to puke that we're in that position today against the Lions. But okay, keep going.
Yeah. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and their unbeatable offers. Right now, new customers can make any $5 NFL bet and get $200 in free bets if your team wins. Check this out. In addition to the usual bets, everyone can boost their winnings with DraftKings stepped up same game parlays. And if you want to cash in, hey, I'm taking the over on this game, you guys, for this Bears Lions game. And I know we'll get into some prop bets in a little bit, but that's a good way to make some money. And how you can do that, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code CHGO to get $200 in free bets if your team wins. Just place a $5 bet on any football game only at DraftKings Sportsbook using code CHGO.
Let me read this tweet to you, and you can break it down. Thanks to our friends at DraftKings Sportsbook. This is from Adam Johns, Hogan Johns, also a great podcast. We miss you, Adam Hogue. But okay, fullback Kari Blasingame, the Bears' honorary captain this week, just gave a speech and broke down the team's pregame huddle. Does that mean he broke down and cried, or he broke? I'm not sure what that means. Broke down the pregame huddle. Can anybody help me with that? What is that? What can you explain, Lawrence? Does that mean? What do you think that means? What do you mean he broke down the? I'm going to have to talk to Johns this week when I see him out at Hallis Hall on my Thursday visit.
Yeah, breaking down the huddle where you get into it, and he's the one, obviously, running it and breaks it down.
I mean, better than him breaking down in the team huddle, like as in
I don't
crying.
think he broke down in the team huddle.
I'm so happy to be the honorary captain.
I do know you guys.
No, but how about we have to win today? Our playoff hopes are on the line. Like today actually is let's call it a demarcation point, if you will. If you lose to the Lions today, you are officially in tank mode, right? They'll have 3 wins. You'll have 3 wins.
Last in the division, too.
You'll be last in the division. Like the only real relative excitement for the season. You got the video.
We have video evidence of the breakdown of Kari Blasingame's. There we go. It should be on screen there. And I know the honorary captain each week has to actually give a pregame speech, or that after that last Friday practice, they are assigned to give a speech for that Friday practice, and it looks like they also break down the huddles prior to the game.
All we got is the next 4 hours, man. All we got is the next 4 hours. You got to be right here for the next 4 hours. Right here, nowhere else. Be 100% present right here. If you give it all you got for the next 4 hours, for the next 3.5, whatever it is, we're going to come out of this with what we want. We're going to come out of this with what we want. Hit them in the mouth. Run all day. Speed all day. Physicality all day. This is all we got right now. You don't know. So let's do it, man. Let's do it. Let's go win, man. Winning is all that matters, man. Hey, win on 3. 1, 2, 3. Win! Hey, man, all we got is the next 4 hours, man.
Winning is all that matters. I know we were talking about winning, and
is anybody else inspired by that? Because I that did nothing
it's a very
for me.
fullback breakdown.
I
Physical win.
Yeah. Philip, I love you. Listening to Carm makes me break down and cry. Carm, what do you mean? Break down. Break down. Like that. I don't know what breakdown means. They're Joey DeMarco. I'm trying to learn here. We're all in this together. That was Kari Blasingame looking around the huddle. Is anybody with me? Is anybody interested in this? Is anybody buying? Like it was almost like, where's Roquan? Where is our spiritual leader? That wasn't it.
I don't know if I'm going into battle as hyped up, but maybe it works for some of the guys on there.
We got a $9.99 super chat. Hated missing the tailgate. Jail, we hated that you weren't there. Let's be real. The best case scenario is we lose, but Justin keeps proving he's HM1.
Him.
H1M. Him, bro.
Him.
Number 1. He wears number 1. He's him.
Yeah, okay. I'm having a rough day today. We haven't had good draft capital or financial stability in forever. Let's do this right. Well, you're right, JL. They've got all of that. Huge offseason, of which, by the way, another reason to hit subscribe on CHGO. The amount of live shows after big news that we're going to be planning on doing this year, when they sign the most amazing free agent after the most free agent after the greatest trade after the most amazing free agent. That is the offseason plan, damn it.
It's going to be great. Can't wait.
I mean, it is going to be a very, 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 very interesting time in Bears history. However, getting back to what I was saying, you agree, right? You lose today, you might as well lose the rest of them. You win today, well, okay. Let's see if we can get to 5-6 next week and go from there. And the Bears players, what I loved about last week against the Dolphins, and you were in the locker room, it seemed like they were incredibly pissed that they didn't win that game, because they are still talking about being a playoff team this year. The team is not punting on actually being one of the teams that gets in.
No, you won't find a player in this Bears locker room that will come away after a loss, even if it's like one of those moral victories you talk about with the offense playing well and being overall excited about. They want to win these games, no doubt. And if they can get on a streak here, they have the Lions, you have Atlanta.
The Jets, the Packers, winnable.
Very winnable games. So maybe this could be the start of something, but you have to come out and execute against a Detroit Lions team that came off a big victory over the Green Bay Packers just last week.
All right, so we're here for post game. Let's dream it up for a second. 3-6. You beat the Lions 4-6. You go down to Atlanta. You beat your ex-Bears 5-6. The Jets have been playing good football, winning games, but whatever. We go to New York. We win 6-6. Come back and you get the Packers 7-6. Eagles, Bills.
Oh God.
Josh Allen. Maybe Allen is still hurt. How about you split those two?
Oh my gosh! Come on.
You want to give two losses? Fine. Okay, let's go 2 losses. 7-6, 7-7, 7-8. How about you split Lions and Vikings at the end of the season? That's fair, right? Split Lions and Vikings?
8-9.
8-9. 8-9 might get you in the playoffs.
The NFC's bad. The NFC is really
8-9.
bad,
I mean, you're not doing anything in the playoffs. But I'll tell you another thing, though. You don't want to play the Bears with their offensive capabilities in the playoffs. You could have a really the Bears are annoying to play right now, because you cannot scheme for what the QB is doing. We're going to spy him. Good luck with that. Okay, we're going to get to him. Yeah, everyone's been getting to him all season long. The dude's running. He just ran for the most yards in the history of NFL player and quarterback in a regular season game. This is
You have Mike McDaniel on the sideline saying, "Hey, stop it! Stop rushing! You're not listening. You're not doing very good at what he's telling him to do."
I'm not saying that let's fly the Super Bowl flag right now, but I am saying the Bears are annoying. That they can be an irritating team. That's all.
If they can, what they did in the fourth quarter defensively against the Dolphins with that offense, then you have something there, Mark, where it can get really interesting. But the Bears need to keep it up in terms of what they're doing offensively, for sure.
I want to point the thumb at myself, too, as I'm trying to build Bears optimism in my mind for a moment here. Maybe Byron Pringle helps this offense take a step forward. I meant to bring the Pringles in. I was going to stop, and I was going to pop the Pringle. Maybe we can do that for post game. Maybe I'll run out at halftime and go over to somewhere and get myself some Pringles. If he gets a catch in the first half, I'm going to run out, and so we'll be able to pop the fever, the flavor of the Pringle for the post game victory celebration.
I think you're gonna have to do that, Mark. I think he gets at least one catch in the first half.
We should have some Pringles on this set if they win.
If they win, yeah, I like that.
That does. No one's excited about this other than me.
No.
I like Pringles. Pringles taste good. No?
I mean, they're delicious.
Yeah, very salty.
It's a good, solid, non-greasy, well-packaged chip.
It's kind of difficult to get, the bottom
It's a little difficult to get to, but you just got to slide it out.
That's true.
Tennis can look. Big match this week, Nick. Semifinals.
How you feeling, though? I know.
Not good.
Yeah, there's an injury. We should have put Mark on the injury report.
He's active.
He's active.
I'm not active. I was supposed to play last night. Inactive.
Oh,
yeah,
gotcha.
I had to beg my brother to play for me in the tennis land. All right, hey, thank you everybody again for coming out to the tailgate today. If you haven't been to one, we'd love to see you at our Green Bay Packer tailgate. Let's get to our predictions here. We got gambling for you. There you go. There it is. Nick has the Bears winning 30-24. I've got him winning by a point, not covering on the under, or taking the under, rather, as a 48.5. I just feel like there's a lot of money on the over, so I'm taking the under. And then our prop bets today, I have Justin Fields. The passing and rushing combined was 244.5. The Lions give up 260 yards just passing on average. That seems like free money to me, minus 115, DraftKings Sportsbook. Nick, you've got the over.
Yeah, just confirming. Is this a parlay?
Yep, that's a parlay.
Okay, just checking.
Oh, yeah.
What do you got going on here?
Yeah, so
There's a lot
over
of stuff
48.5. I like the scoring in this one, Mark. I think it continues for both these teams. A total for the Bears over 23.5. And then Amon-Ra St. Brown, the Detroit Lions' best receiving threat, getting an anytime touchdown. And Justin Fields over 49.5 rushing yards in this game, plus 425. Get some money. Lawrence, I know we were talking about betting and maybe striking out a couple times. That's easy money right there, Lawrence.
Sure, easy money, yeah.
Yeah, just go put your money on that. And you'll be
I haven't
good to go.
I haven't hit an anytime TD in the whole season, so I'm going to skip that part of that.
Did you play this?
I did. I actually did. So you'll see on the post game show whether or not I actually get this happening. But I did play it.
Bears 756, Lions minus 99. Thank you, William Kane.
Realistic
How much you put on there?
I don't want to say.
I didn't.
Actually, I think that was a free bet. That was a free bet.
That was a free bet? Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
And I put like a bunch of other things on there that probably won't have. Justin Jackson. I had scored a touchdown. So
I like what you do.
Yeah.
DraftKings Sportsbook, make your betting life better. Damn it. All right. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the postgame right about 3 o'clock. Bear the hell down. And, enjoy your Sunday football. Let's go, Bears.